Hi guys, it's Rawfear27 here again. Another video on some of the DVDs, Blu-rays and computer games that I've gotten since my birthday. So I want to start off with some Blu-ray films, but as I said, haven't seen all these films. I may know a wee bit about them when I talk about them. I might talk about sort of what happens in the film, best to my knowledge, but I try not to get any kind of spoilers put in there if I can. But if I do, I will try and kind of make sure that I point out that it is a spoiler, just in case beforehand. But I might forget. Hopefully not. But I'm going to start off with this is X-Men First Class, and this is the Blu-ray edition, which also comes with the DVD and a download digital copy as well. And basically, this is a prequel, so it's obviously set before the first X-Men, and it focuses on the friendship between Magneto and Professor Xavier. Basically, they used to be friends when they were younger. So this kind of focuses on that and how kind of they became friends, and also how they kind of fell apart and how the X-Men were formed. Again, I haven't watched this one. That's kind of basically what I know about it. Obviously, they've got to try and prevent World War III from happening as well. But I've always liked the X-Men films. The first one, the second one were quite good. The third one was a little bit disappointing. There's some characters in there that kind of were a bit wasted, or seemed a bit pointless to have in the film. But this one's supposed to be quite a good film. I do like kind of my superhero movies, so I'm hoping to check this one out over the weekend. But again, once I have watched it, I'll probably sort of do a more detailed kind of review of it. In the meantime. The next one I got is a Studio Ghibli film, and I don't know if I can pronounce this one right or if it's wrong, but if I have, let me know. And this is Erity, and it's based on the Mary Norton book The Borrowers. It's about obviously a family of small people who are living in a manor with a huge garden in Tokyo. And basically, the term borrower comes from the fact that they sort of borrow or steal bits and pieces to help them get by in their daily lives, but not enough so that people will notice that stuff's missing. But the little girl in the movie is basically called Erity. That's what the film's named after. And basically, she's been told, make sure that she doesn't get spotted by humans. But she ends up being spotted by this young boy here who also lives in the house. And basically, they bond, they confide in each other, and basically a friendship's formed. Basically, it's a film about that. If you've seen other Studio Ghibli films such as Spirited Away, you kind of know what you're in for. But they do make very good kind of animated films. Spirited Away was a fantastic film, along with some of the other ones like Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service. They are very good films, and it's a very good one to check out. This is a new one; it just came out last week, or should I say, sorry, Monday. And this is the collector's edition. This comes with the Blu-ray and DVD as well, and a small selection of special features, as well as some art cards. It's a nice little kind of cardboard box sleeve, so I'm looking forward to watching this one. If it's anything like Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away, it should be a very good film. And the next Blu-ray I got is a film I've been wanting to see ever since I saw the trailer for it back on the Insidious DVD that I got. And this is Troll Hunter. Now this is a Norwegian film, I think, and it's basically some students are out filming in the woods, and they stumble across a hunter who's after a certain prey, but they're not sure what it is. So basically they follow the hunter unwillingly. Well, not really unwillingly. He doesn't want them to follow him, but they kind of keep pestering him and keep following him, and eventually they spot that he's after trolls. And basically it's a shot kind of like Cloverfield kind of style, camcorder and point of view kind of style. And obviously it's just there, and basically them trying to survive the encounter with trolls. And obviously this big mother here. It's a monster movie. Not normally into my monster movies, but I quite like this one. I like Jurassic Park, I like Cloverfield, and there's this Korean one called The Host, and that was quite a good little sort of monster movie as well. So I hope this one will be quite good. Again, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to hopefully over the weekend. But again, once I've got into it and I've watched it properly, I'll probably do a proper review of it as well. So that's my Blu-rays. And I'm going to go into some DVDs that I bought. And the first one I'm going to start off with is a Australian horror film called Needle. And this one basically is about a college student whose father passed away a while ago, and they've been kind of fighting out over his estate. And basically he ends up getting this box which has some Latin inscribed on it, which is the Voldemort, I think that's how you pronounce it, and he's not sure what it is. So basically he shows it to his friends, and they can't really figure out what it does either. But then the next day it goes missing, and then the guy's friends all start kind of dying off in kind of weird, gruesome ways. And obviously they can't figure out why and what's causing it. So he has to try and figure out what this box is and what it's meant to be used for, before all of his friends die. It was quite good. I had seen the trailer for it before it came out. Pardon me. It's not the best acted movie. And the plotline, it's kind of generic kind of horror. At the end of the day, it follows kind of like, you can see the deaths coming a mile off. You know who's going to die. You know how they might die. But it's quite intriguing little film. There was a slight twist towards the end, which you couldn't really see coming beforehand. But if you're clever enough, you can kind of figure it out. But I did enjoy it. It was okay. But I don't tend to watch a lot of Australian films, maybe because I don't really know much of them. But this was quite a good one. And the next one is a sequel to a film that I really liked. I only got that one last year, and it's kind of a slasher flick. But it's a more modern one, but it kind of goes back to kind of the 80s style. And this is Hatchet 2. Again, it's kind of like your kind of Friday the 13th, Halloween kind of films, but it's kind of more tongue-in-cheek, and a bit more kind of gory. And it's about this chap, this guy, the ugly mug, on the front cover, called Victor Crowley, and he was basically a freak, and he lived in the swamps outside New Orleans, and basically kills anyone that kind of goes anywhere near him. So I don't think the storyline follows exactly from the first one, but it does kind of link back to it. And this one stars a few more noticeable faces, and the first one didn't really have that many people in it that I recognised. But this has got Tony Todd, who, if people know, he played the Candyman in the films, and he was also in some of the Final Destination films, and he played the coroner. He's the one that kind of told the kids, about death doesn't like to get pissed, and if you're meant to die, you're meant to die, and if you don't die when you're meant to, then he'll come and get you. But he's in this one, and he plays a voodoo priest. So basically, it's this girl's been survived from her family being murdered by this chap. So basically, she goes out for revenge, with the voodoo priest. Sorry, getting a bit tongue-tied this evening. So it's kind of just a hack and slash kind of horror film, but it's supposedly ramped up the gore in this one, but the humour's always been quite spot on with these films. So I'm looking forward to watching this one. We call it one of the best slasher flicks ever, but a lot of films make that statement, and some of them turn out to be pretty rubbish. But this one's quite a good little one to watch. And then the other one is a thriller. It's not exactly a horror film, but I do like my suspense films as well. And this is Julia's Eyes, and this is produced by Guillermo del Toro, who did Pan's Labyrinth, The Devil's Backbone, The Orphanage, and the new one soon to be released on DVD, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. This actually stars the main actress from The Orphanage, and she plays the protagonist in this film, and she's a twin sister. And it starts off, she finds her sister has been hung in her basement, and the police believe that it's just suicide, but twins being twins and having intuition, she believes that it was murder. The problem with the sister, the character, she's also got a degenerative eye defect, and she's starting to lose her sight as well. So basically, she's trying to figure out what killed her sister, and her friends start dying. And by the end of the film, at the climax, she's basically in her sister's house, and she's completely lost her sight. And there's something in the house, whether be it a person or something malevolent. I'm not sure because I haven't watched it. But it sounds quite good. He does make good films, or produces them. But it's a Spanish horror film, so it will be subtitled. But I'm looking forward to watching this one. It's got quite good ratings. So hopefully, again, over the weekend, along with all the other films I have to catch up on, I'll probably get into this one as well. And then I'm on to some kind of 80s throwback horrors again. This one, mind the artwork is a little bit gory. This is called Pieces. I'm only mainly collecting these movies because of the publisher for these DVDs, Arrow Video. they make really good DVD collections. I've got 4 other ones already, along with these 2 new ones that I bought. Movies aren't always that good. This one's kind of a bit meh. It's a Spanish horror, and if people have heard of Galileo movies, it's kind of an era set in the 80s, and it's always kind of European sort of horror slasher flicks, and it kind of falls under that. So they do look like a collection of all these, but they do make good collection sets, because there's quite a lot of different special features you get with each kind of different sets, Blu-ray and DVD. This comes with a reversible sleeve, so if you don't like this kind of nasty artwork, there's a more kind of simplified, less gory one on the reverse. It also comes with like a poster, a booklet. You can get art cards and like depending on the movie. But this is basically just a sort of general sort of hack and slash slasher flick, basically. It's quite on the cover. Like kid grows up to be a homicidal maniac, starts killing women because he's had some sort of hatred for his mother, that kind of general stuff. But it's gory, it's horror, it's cheesy. That's why I got it really, and like I said, I've already got 4 in this collection, so I'm kind of starting to collect them all. Some of the films are a bit bleh, but at the end of the day, I'm kind of a completionist, so I like to kind of, once I start collecting a series, I like to finish it. And with that in mind, here's another one from the Arrow Video Publishing set, and this is an 80s slasher flick again, but it's an American one, so it's a bit more well known, and this is Slaughter High. Again, it's your standard sort of horror films slasher flick from the 80s. Nerdy kid at school gets bullied. He ends up being badly burnt, basically, and then he sets up a high school reunion for the people that tormented him. So that they arrive, the school's boarded up, but they decide to go in anyway, as you do. And he starts picking them off one by one in this kind of scary, jester, clownish kind of costume. That's enough to freak me out because I don't like clowns. But it's okay. It's not badly. It's not bad. I mean, the acting's okay in parts. Some of it's pretty, again, but it's a kind of a rare horror film to find. I mean, I haven't seen or even heard of it much until now. It's one that's mainly you can only get from America. But I did watch this one the other day, and it was okay. The special effects sound great. There's a rather odd scene. The girl gets covered in blood, and she goes for a bath, which you don't want to expect to find a bath in the school. But then she's in the bath, and then sort of acid comes through the taps, and she basically melts, and all that's left of her in the bath is a skeleton. But the way they did it, probably at the time, was quite good, but it just looked stupid. But it's an okay one to check out if you like these kind of cheesy 80s horror slasher flicks. And last but not least, I got CSI, and this is season 9 box set. It has 24 episodes. To be honest with you, it has been out for a while, the show, and I've only ever watched maybe about 6 or 7 episodes. But I've only just started getting into this one. Season 9 is an odd one to start off with. It just happens that my friend, she collects these, and she ended up buying 2 season 9s. Well, she bought one thinking she didn't have it when she did, so she gave me this copy. But I do like CSI. It's kind of like Criminal Minds, it's crime scene investigations and all that. So I won't go into explain about it because most people know what it is by now. But it's a good show. Right, that's my DVD collection that I've got so far. So I'm going to move on to some games that I got. There's about 4 or 5, so I said I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'll kind of show you what I got. And the first one is, this is Batman Batman Arkham City. I'll get that right. For the Xbox 360, and this is the collector's edition. I paid about £69 for this. It seems a bit steep, but I didn't mind paying for it, and it's a very good, solid, heavy statue of Batman there, with some very sharp, pointy bits on it as well. This basically comes with a copy of the game. Unfortunately, the only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that the game doesn't actually come in its own case. There's an artwork book with sketches and stills and artwork from the game, and concept art, and the game actually sits in the back of that in a little holder. I would have preferred its own separate box, But you know, I can't complain. It also came with DLC. There was the Catwoman pack, the Penguin Ice Challenge room, and also a Batman costume, which I didn't think was too bad as well. You know, that was saved a bit of money, you know, instead of having to buy it. Yeah, the Dark Knight Returns in-game skin, as well as the Gotham Knight animated movie, and the Arkham City soundtrack. However, that's just a code. You have to go to a website to actually download it. I thought it actually came with a CD, but I was wrong. But it's a good set. You know, you can get it cheaper elsewhere if you look around. I know Shop2.net had the PS3 version of this for 40 quid, but that's now sold out. But I wanted it for the 360 because I tend to play that one more than the PS3. But you know, I didn't think I'd get into this game. I wasn't a big fan of Arkham Asylum, but because I'm an open world sandbox kind of gamer, this appealed to me more because of the open world sort of nature of Gotham City, and the Asylum thing. And so far, I have enjoyed what I played. The combat was always a bit of an issue for me in the first one because I could never kind of get used to the whole kind of countering an attack. But this one, you know, for some reason I just managed to pick it up and play it straight away. I haven't got hooked yet, but I am working with you. And, you know, I tend to kind of wander off and do my own thing, so I kind of haven't really stuck much to the storyline. I've been just flying around trying to find things and try and do the bloody Riddler challenges. But you know, very good game so far. Hopefully we'll get through this again soon, but I've got that many games to catch up on. You know, I'm kind of playing only bits and pieces of each game that I've got. But you know, definitely want to get, not necessarily this set, but definitely the game itself is a good one to get. And also another collector's set. Now, you know, this game didn't do too well when it came out. I'm not surprised. It did spend 12 years getting made. You know, a lot of people think that DNF stands for Didn't Not Finish, but obviously it stands for Duke Nukem, and this is the Balls of Steel edition. I only wanted this one because it was quite cheap compared to when it first came out. I think it was about £70 when it first came, and it's now down to about 36. Again for 360 because I mainly play the Xbox 360. I like Duke Nukem. I always have done. You know, the game looks rough in parts. You know, you can tell it's obviously been a game that's been in development for 12 years. You know, it comes with some okay stuff. You know, there's a bust of Duke Nukem there. Also comes with postcards, certificate of authenticity. Again, artwork book, a sticker, some reason poker chips, dice, and cards. Obviously because it's set in Las Vegas. But you know, I've enjoyed the game. You know, the game itself we picked up for about £5-6 new. So it just does seem quite expensive for even though it's still cheap, because obviously the game's about £5, so you're paying about 30 quid for all the little bits and pieces, which doesn't seem worth it at that end of the day. But you know, I started kind of getting into the collector's edition sets, and I had the money, so I thought I'd start a small collection. I've now got my Batman, my Duke Nukem, and I've also got the Two Worlds 2 Royal Edition, which I showed in the previous video. And the game now works, thank God. I finally got a working copy of the game for Two Worlds 2 after having a horrible issue with the original disc that came with it. I mean, if you guys have had any problems with it, let me know. I ended up having to order a new copy because for some reason the copy that came with the actual collector's set would not get read by my Xbox, but it played on everyone else's Xboxes. Which seems funny because the disc itself wasn't scratched, but my Xbox kept saying it was either dirty or scratched. So I gave up in the end and sent it back. The game itself, ordered a new one, and hopefully, you know, it plays now, works fine, and it's a very good game. I'll just show you it here. So this is the working copy. It's an RPG game, like I explained before, but you know, now I've kind of played it a wee bit. You know, it's not going to reach the standards of Skyrim, like I said before, but it's a very good game. You know, this one actually has online multiplayer, 5 different modes. Oh, pardon me. And you can quest. There's an adventure mode where you can play and do kind of missions or quests. But there's also deathmatch as well and all these other things. So you know, it's different in that aspect to Skyrim because you can actually play with friends online, and you can even have your own different character online as opposed to story character as well. But I am enjoying this so far. You know, the combat's a bit clunky, but then Skyrim's combat's clunky. And obviously this can only be played in third person and not first person. but graphics can look quite good in areas and a bit rough in other areas. But I am enjoying this game. It's a big improvement over the first one, which was full of kind of bugs and glitches and looked a bit rough and a bit basic in areas compared to Oblivion. But it's definitely one to check out. You can get this normal copy on its own for $29.99 on Amazon, but the Royal Edition as well is also there for all the same price. So you're stupid not to go for the special packed featured one. This comes with DLC codes, which I managed to work out what they were. You get dragon skin armor, Elixorion, which is a sort of two-handed sword, and you get I think it opens up a new area or a new quest. But definitely one to check out. And the only other game that I got was Need for Speed The Run. If you've played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, it isn't that much different. Obviously there's a storyline to this game. You play as some guy called Jack, I can't remember his surname. Basically he's got into trouble with some mob boss people who owes him money. So basically he gets set up to compete in this cross-nation, cross-America race, basically from San Francisco to New York. And it's basically you versus 199 other competitors. To try and get there first, and you win a lot of money. I like this game. It uses a Frostbite 2 engine, which is what we used in Battlefield 3, mainly for like kind of destructive scenery and stuff like that. There's different things. You can have snowfalls, avalanches and stuff like that, which don't really hinder your game that much, but they can cause a bit of distraction on the road. But the good thing about this one, it's got a thing called autolog, which means if you've got friends who also own this game, similar to Hot Pursuit as well, it will post their times on stages. And the main aspect from this game for me comes from kind of trying to beat them, and that's where the challenges lies. But there are challenge parts in this game as well. But I'm enjoying it so far. I've been playing against a friend. So far I'm about nearly a minute ahead of him, so he's on the stage ahead of me and I'm catching up. But it's a good racing game. If you see past kind of the sort of minor flaws, it didn't get rated very well by some games magazines, but I like it. So that's it. That's my wee stash for now. Probably be a bit quiet over the next couple of weeks until I get more money. And that's what happens when I buy all these things. I spend all my money. But I'm going to watch some of these films and play some of these games a bit more and get into them. So I'm going to try and do a DVD collection video. Because if you can look over here, I'll just move the camera over. That's just a couple shelves of DVDs, but that's the front layer, and there's more layers behind. So I want to try and pick out my favourite ones, favourite films, maybe different genres, and talk about them, why I like them. Or if you've got any suggestions, let me know. Or if you've got a film maybe that I might not have seen, you can let me know then, and I can try and watch it and give my opinion on it. So that's me. Thanks for watching again, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks very much.